Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia. And I am coming to you tonight. This is recorded because on this Thursday, I will be at a 3-day crop right here in Middletown. So I wanted to make sure that I took my time to get my video ready to upload so that tonight at 7:30 Eastern, it's there and ready for you. So we're going to continue our look at our designer series paper and really how to make your designer series paper the star of your cards. Last week, we did a 6x6 inch wonder, one sheet wonder. We made 4 cards. So you can go back and look at that if you want. And today we're going to look at using our, our beautiful designer series paper to really just carry that whole card with very little in terms of embellishments, die cuts, all that stuff. So let's go ahead, let's move our screens, and let's go ahead and get started. So our first one is going to be a pretty simple card. We're going to start off with our 8.5 by 11, back that up, our 8.5 by 5.5 card base. I've scored it at 4 1/4. And from the front, we are going to trim off 3 1/4 inches. Over here, I should have had this within reach, but I didn't. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing a sweatshirt in the middle of the summer, my basement is freezing. Jim and I don't agree on the thermostat setting. He likes it very cold. I do not. So I wear my sweatshirt down when I'm in my studio because that way it makes it bearable for me. All right, so we've got our card here. So now we've got a card base that's really 5 1/4 inches. Okay, and we're going to add to this, move that out of our way. We're going to add here. I've cut a piece of this is our Zinnia Designer Series paper. This is an online exclusive. This is 4 by 5.5. Now, the reason why I made it 4 instead of 4 1/4 was because really when you have a 12 by 12 inch sheet, it's much better to cut it into 4 inches. You have 3 columns of 4. So, and that'll be fine. You'll see. So I'm going to just kind of put it on our card base. I'm going to add some, oops, I got it messed up already. I'm going to add to our card base. I'm going to kind of line it up. I'm just going to kind of do it like that. I'm going to add some adhesive to that little 1-inch strip that we have hanging down. And the reason I'm putting it on this strip is that I know that will be covered by the designer series paper. All right. So now we've got that. Now look at that. Now you can see both sides. Oh, I went a little too far over. See, that's what I was worried about by putting it there. So we're just going to take our little eraser and we're just going to get that extra adhesive off. This is a very good little tool to have. It erases your adhesive. All right, I'll go back and finish that later. Now I'm going to add a piece of basic white to the inside. This is 4 by 5 1/4. See, I'm rushing. Because I'm rushing, I'm making mistakes. I'm going to slow down. Slow this train way down. All right, let's go ahead and add this to our card base. Right, we're going to add, I've cut another piece. This is just a scrap I had. This is 3/4 inch wide by 5.5. We're going to go ahead and put that to just kind of dress up that little 1-inch strip. It looked very sad and lonely. So we're just going to use the reverse of another piece of our designer series paper, or simply Zinnia designer series paper. And again, I cut this 5.5 by 3/4, so it's going to fit right on that strip. And then I punched with our labels of love out of basic white. I punched just one white label, and I'm using, this is another online exclusive. This is Everyday Greetings. This also coordinates with the Seasons of Green and Gold suite, but this is just a bunch of everyday greetings. So we are going to come right on here and just stamp a thank you. And I'm going to stamp it in our Melon Mambo That will match our card base. Okay. Okay, I'm going to stamp. I got kind of some ink on there. Oh, well, you know what? How we're going to fix that? We're going to fix that. We are going to, see, I got a little ink on the edge of my card. It's going to fix it so it doesn't look like that was a mistake. We're going to kind of roll our edge of our label in our ink pad. And now my smudge isn't so noticeable. Gotta love it when you can fix it. Fix a mistake with just a little extra creative inking. Got ink on my glass mat. All right, I've got my linen thread here. I'm just gonna wrap it around my 3 fingers, like, I don't know, 4 fingers, about 3 or 4 times. Not much. You don't want too much on there. I'm gonna trim it. Okay, we're gonna make sure it's all there. We're gonna flip over our sentiment. I'm gonna add some Stampin' Seal. I'm just going to kind of twist it around and stick it right there. So we've just kind of got that messy twine, that messy linen thread going on behind there. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and pop this on our card front. Now, if you want to add some bling, we have our basic rhinestone, our rhinestone basic jewels here, and we could add some of these to add just a little pop of sparkle, because I think every card needs a little sparkle. Maybe not if you're doing a masculine card. I have to do a card, well, I will do a card for my husband's birthday, which was on Tuesday, August 6th. But I think I'm going to use the Racing By. He likes NASCAR, so I might just do a Racing By card. And then I just added some rhinestone basic jewels just to add a little pop of sparkle. But really, our designer series paper, and we get to see both sides, is really going to do all the heavy lifting on this card. We did a little punch with some very little stamping and a little bit of that linen thread. Okay, and if you like the linen thread, I've seen in the Binny catalog, one of the suites will have three different colors of linen thread. All right, the next one, this is so easy. It's almost embarrassing to do this. But this Simply Zinnia paper comes with such pretty paper that this one, all we're going to do is we're going to mount that on our Flirty Flamingo. We're going to add a piece of our basic white to the inside. All right, we're going to add card number 3. I'm doing 3 cards tonight because when you use the designer series paper, they go together so easily. It's so silly how easy these are. All right, now we've got this. We're going to add this. So this piece of Flirty Flamingo is 5 1/4 by 4, and our piece of paper is 5 by 3 3/4. All right, we're going to go ahead and add that. But before they add that, I want to add some ribbon. Again, this one is a retired ribbon, but just because it's retired doesn't mean you can't use it. We have other ones that are similar. That iridescent striped ribbon is very pretty, and I have it somewhere in my studio. I just grabbed this one because it was on the top of the pile and it was sheer enough for what I wanted. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just add this to the front of our card. You can always tell when you're getting towards the end. It starts not coming out so nicely. Let's see. There we go. I always know when I am reaching the end of my adhesive. Okay, I got some on my fingers. Let's get that off. All right, so here we go. We're going to add this. And then I'm just going to add a little piece. I'm going to tie a little piece in a knot around that front. And this is probably about 4 inches. This was maybe 5 inches, the piece that we put on there. It's very little ribbon. I don't use a lot of ribbon per card. And again, it might be a little too big, so I'm going to trim it up. I just like to cut these on an angle. Once you cut it on an angle, it just automatically looks fancier. Now I've got a piece of our lemon lime twist here. This is also punched with the Labels of Love punch. And we are just going to stamp on here, hello friend. Okay, so I am going to line this up on my glass mat, kind of where oh, that's sending. I didn't want sending, I wanted friend. Oh, there it is. There's friend. Hello, friend. All right, now that looks pretty good. Let me grab a block. I am going to pick this up, make sure this will fit. You know what? I might have to do these separately. That's all right. And I'm sticking with our Melon Mambo ink. Okay, hello. I'm going to go over here with our friend. Okay. Hello, friend. And again, I'm going to take some dimensionals. I'm going to pop them on the back here. And I'm going to put this just slightly above our ribbon. Okay. Because you want those dimensionals to really adhere to your paper. And that is our second card. Again, minimal stamping. We're really letting that pretty designer series paper do all of the work on this card. And that's why we can make so many so quickly. So that was number 2. Number 3 is similar to number 2. Well, we're going to do one thing. So we're going to punch a label out of this pretty in pink, because I switched chairs because my other chair that rolls really well is very low. So I switched it for one that doesn't roll well, but the seat is up higher. All right, so I'm going to punch a label out of my pretty in pink because we are going to cover this with our paper. But before we do that, we are going to score it and cut it. So I want to cut this on the diagonal. So what I did was I already put a score line from top left to bottom right. I'm going to cut that last because that is going to help me cut the remaining piece. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put it in, going to flip it over so I have the reverse side. I'm going to put the top left and the bottom right in the cutting groove on my trimmer, and I'm just going to slice it. Now I have my mark. So I'm going to put this and that score line. So I'm going to put my top edge here in the bottom of that score line, and we're going to cut that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this piece. We're going to put that top point in the cutting groove. We're going to put that score line in the cutting groove, and we're going to slice. So now we've got 4 triangles. And what we want to do is we want to arrange these, and it doesn't matter which way you put them, whether you want the pink polka dots on the bottoms or you want the pink polka dots on the sides. That is something for you to decide. So let's try it. Let's look at it both ways. Okay, not too bad. But now let's flip it and see which one we like better. We like that, or do we like this? And I actually think I like it with the flowers on the 2 sides. So I'm going to flip these back to the flowers. I'm going to flip these sides back to the triangles. All right, so now I'm going to use liquid glue for this. Simply because that gives me a little bit of room to work and make sure that I get this exactly where I want it. Okay, well, I need to put a new cutting blade in there. It's getting a little raggedy. Okay, so we're going to put this in. Registration for our Stampalooza in September is still open. So if you want to join us, we would love to have you join us September 20th to 21st. It's like a day-and-a-half event. We're very excited. We've got lots of good technique tutorials planned for you. Plus, we've got lots of goodies to give you. Now I'm going to add this piece. I'm going to work all the way around and hopefully get my triangle to measure up correctly. Registration is $195, and you're going to get back about $85 to $90 in products. And then you're going to also get lunch and breakfast on Saturday, plus snacks and drinks throughout the whole weekend, plus other surprises. There's bingo prizes. There's raffles you can participate in. It's going to be a lot of fun. We do have a limited registration. We're probably about halfway to our max number. So we definitely have some room for you guys to join us, and we would love to have you. I will leave a link down in the description, down below in the description for this video, so you can register if you want to come join us. It's here in Winchester, Virginia, in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley, and we are very excited to bring this event to you. All right, so there we have it. So now we've got that all lined up. And don't worry if the middle's not exactly right, because that's where we're going to hide that by putting our label over it. So now we're ready to go ahead and add this to our card front. See how easy that was just while we were talking? Just kind of put everything there. Okay. All right. Let me hold on. I got a little bit of glue on there. I should have used my silicone mat, but I didn't think. All right, there we go. Got that up. All right. Hopefully it'll dry quickly. Now we're going to put this on our card front. Okay. Then we're going to stamp. Since we already have the thank you stamp out, let's go ahead and stamp a thank you again, because personally I can always use thank you notes. So I'm just going to stamp a thank you on here, but you can make it birthday, you can make it anniversary, get well, whatever you need to make it. Now I'm going to cut a little strip of Melon Mambo. It's probably 1/2 inch by, 3 inches. And I'm going to add that to the back of my sentiment label. Okay, just like that. I'm going to add some dimensionals. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put that right in the middle, so that will cover up where all those points meet. And then we're going to add a couple of gems, and then we're going to call this one done. Got 1, 2, and that gem got stuck. Okay, and that is our third card, where we really just made the designer series paper the star of our cards, and it will work with any paper. So I did some with perennial lavender. Okay, so there's that one with the 4 quarters, the 4 triangles. Here's another one with the double-sided. I added an extra little strip that I had there. So really I didn't do anything with this one because I kind of added that one last minute, but really any designer series paper that you have will work for these cards. I would just say if you're making this one and you have an obvious one-way design, just be careful to make sure that you have it going in the correct direction. If not, just change your orientation. So you go from portrait, you go to landscape. So it's not a big deal. So that is it for me. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I hope this inspired you to cut and use our beautiful designer series paper and create cards really quickly. Have a great night, everybody. Next week will also be pre-recorded. My daughter and I are leaving Thursday morning early. We're driving up to New Hampshire for her college roommate's wedding. So we'll be gone, but we'll be, maybe we'll pop in periodically on our Stampin' with Crafty Klock page, Facebook page, to just give you live updates and to just say hey and let you know how the trip is going from Virginia to New Hampshire. All right, that's it for me, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.